Hello and welcome to Greater Dayton Live. I'm your host, Melissa Constantine, and with me is Dan Edwards from
DJ Edwards Group, LLC.
So today we are going to discuss the air show this year. What's going to happen?
Time.
I'm ready for it. Every year it's something exciting that I'm a part of, DATV's a part of, because we interview the pilots, the acts, the people that are watching the parade or the air show each year, and we tape the entire air show from beginning to end and show it here on DATV, so stay tuned for that after the air show. We are here with Amy Meyer, who is executive assistant with the Dayton Air Show, and we would like to talk with her more about what, when, what to expect. So Amy, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us, when are the air show and location, dates, all that information?
The 2014 Vectron Dayton Air Show presented by Kroger is going to be held on June 28 and 29, and it's going to be held at the Dayton International Airport.
So transportation, can people drive to the airport and park, or are there shuttle buses that's going to be made available to them?
Yes, we do have both options. People can drive and park in our parking area, and it's $10 per vehicle, and if you drive an RV or a bus, it's $20. And they can also take the RTA shuttle, which runs from downtown Dayton, and it also runs from the Air Force Museum to the showgrounds.
Which is the best way to go, by the way, I would think, because taking the RTA, you take all that backed up traffic. Not that backed up traffic's not a good thing for the air show to happen,
That's
but
correct.
not when you're sitting in a park, so the
Right.
RTA definitely take that. Hey, you also have a lot of fun for the kids. It really is a family fun event each year. Tell us a little bit about the Kids Hangar.
The Vectron Kids Hangar is located on the showgrounds, and it's an area where kids can kind of get away. They can have, fun at the show. They can build airplanes out of Legos. They can play in a sandbox. There's some equipment to play on. I believe there's also face painting. So it's a fun time for the children. And we do just ask that parents accompany their children under the tent.
They get to learn a little bit about aviation while they're at the air show, which I think is a good thing too. So that's cool.
That's really neat. So with having the children taken care of, what about those that are handicapped, elderly? Is there assistance that will be provided for them?
Yes, we do. We have handicap parking available, which is right near the main gate.
Okay.
The only thing they need is their handicap sticker hanging in their rearview mirror or on their license plate. And they would just be directed to that parking. And from there, we do have a handicap golf cart shuttle that takes people to certain locations on the showgrounds.
Now, I noticed that during the air show last year, the handicap shuttle was kind of going around throughout the air show, so people were walking that was tired or needed a break that was able to flag them down or go to a location like a bus stop.
Right.
So you're going to have that again this year?
Yes, that will be back.
Good, good.
And then the Pavilion Seating, it's always packed, so probably should get there early, correct?
That's correct. It is an advanced specialty seating, so typically on Saturday the Pavilion Seating sells out, and we have about 3,200 seats available. So you definitely want to purchase in advance for those tickets. There are upgrades available if it hasn't sold out, but it is best to purchase in advance.
Now share with us, what is Pavilion Seating? Where exactly are you?
The Pavilion Seating is right at Show Center, and it includes an umbrella table with 6 seats. And it also includes free parking.
And there's some area there if you want to put down your blanket too, or is it basically just
It's
seating?
basically just chairs. So there's not really a blanket area. That area is in some other spots throughout the showgrounds.
Well, what about the Blue Sky Chalets? What are those?
The Blue Sky Chalets, they're all inclusive. It includes breakfast, lunch, snacks, unlimited drinks, which includes alcohol. It also includes free parking, and it also includes, it's inside of an air-conditioned tent, and it also has
Bathrooms.
Lots of amenities.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, it should. I mean, it's really a great place to watch the show, no question. Now, it's in June this year, which we're hoping will be a bit more comfortable temperature-wise, but maybe if it is hot, we do have medical care there in case there are any issues. Can you talk a little bit about that? I know a lot of thought goes into that each year.
Yes, it definitely is. We have been noted for how quickly our EMS does come to the scene. So basically, if you're not feeling well, just find someone who is in an Aeroshell shirt. It usually says volunteer staff. And just go ahead and they will page someone, and within just a few minutes, the EMS personnel will be there to transport you to the EMS locations on site.
You know, last year we had a tragedy, which was very difficult, and I know the air show is like a family.
That's right.
And you know, it's really tough, but people want to know about the NTSB investigation and, you know, from last year's crash. Can you share any information about last year's crash, more than we may know from last year?
At this point, we have recently been contacted by the NTSB, and they have been asking us some additional questions. So here in probably just the next few weeks or so, the report will be coming out, and that will determine what was the cause of the accident.
How soon will that be?
In just a few weeks, probably.
Okay.
Has there been any changes on, you know, the light of the crash? Have there been changes that are protective for the community, the people that's going to be out there? Or are they going to be moved back further or anything?
No, there's no changes because the accident, it was really, the crowd was not in harm at all where the accident had taken place. And basically, they never will be given an air show and the rules and guidelines we have to follow by the FAA. The emergency procedures that we had in place last year worked extremely well, and there were no major issues. So we will continue to have those in place in case an unfortunate accident happens again.
Okay.
All right, well, we appreciate that update. Now let's talk about the exciting news about the Dayton Air Show. Describe some of the acts that we're going to see in the air.
Well, we're extremely fortunate to have the U.S. Navy Blue Angels back in the skies. As everyone knows, in 2013, both the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds and the U.S. Navy Blue Angels were grounded due to the federal sequestration. But this year, we are very fortunate to be one of only 34 show sites to be selected for the U.S. Navy Blue Angels. So we do want everyone to come out and see the spectacular demonstration.
I've flown with the Angels, and my
well, you're lucky.
One of the most fun I've ever had in my life, I must say. But what a show they put on, though. I mean,
they really do.
And that's why people come to the air show. Well, one of the big reasons is because of those superpower engines and those jets, and then of course the Wings of Blue are also going to be there.
Yes, the Wings of Blue are the U.S. Air Force Academy's parachute team, and with the Wings of Blue, we are extremely fortunate that one of the people on their team, he's actually from Dayton.
Oh, great.
And he was a 2011 graduate of Carroll High School. So we're extremely fortunate for him to have a homecoming here in Dayton.
That's really exciting. So one of my favorites is Sean D. Tucker. So tell me a little bit about him.
Yes, Sean will be coming back. He did perform here last year, and he will be joined by Patty Wagstaff. And these are two of the top world-class performers. The last time we had Patty was back in 2009. So it has been a few years since she's been here. So definitely you'll want to come out and watch both of these great performers.
And one of the noisiest acts, I think, is the Harrier.
Yes.
And it's back this year.
Yes, it is. And it was an extremely big competition to get the Harrier because sequestration is still a law. The U.S. Marine Corps Harrier has only selected 6 show site demonstrations throughout the entire nation to go to, and we are extremely fortunate to be one of those. And the Harrier last appeared in 2007.
It's quite a sight to see and to hear.
It's going to be, yeah. And the jet truck, that's going to be another noisy one that the kids always like to see.
Yes, the Shockwave Jet Truck is coming back. It hasn't been here in a few years either, and it has recently been acquired by someone else, and they have spent a lot of time and effort into remodeling the Shockwave Jet Truck, and this is its 30th anniversary this year.
And Aeroshell was a kind of a throwback to World War II flying, which is always fun too. It's great to have them back.
Yep, and they are definitely a crowd pleaser, and they will be joining us once again in the skies.
I hate to ask you this question to put you on the spot, but of all of these acts that we just mentioned, which would you like to be a part of?
The Blue
The
Angel.
Blue Angel. You're right. It was a real privilege, and I waited 20-some years to get that flight. So, yeah, you're right. That's if you can handle it. That's a tough ride. That's
I don't know if I could handle that one.
Physically challenging ride.
Yep.
No doubt about it. You
Well,
think Kings Island's fun? Woo.
I rode with the Fat Albert team with the Blue Angels, so I didn't go up in the jet, but I was up in the Fat Albert a couple years ago, and that was pretty intense. It was interesting. You were sitting in a chair and you were moving, your legs were moving this way and moving that way, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I'd do it again.
Well, it's we're very fortunate to live in Dayton. We have this air show, and we get the front row seats to visit some of these pilots and to enjoy their shows. And do you think sometimes people take it for granted that Dayton's the aviation hub, blah blah blah? But
Yes, no, it's definitely taken for granted.
Yeah.
We are very fortunate to have the acts that we do have, and many people aren't aware of this, but Dayton is one of the best air shows in the nation, and it is probably, I shouldn't say this for some of the performers, but the performers' favorite air show to go to.
what do they say? What are their comments?
They just absolutely love it. The hospitality is great that we provide them. They just love the crowd. It's a very interactive crowd. And Dayton is the birthplace of aviation, so they're very happy to take part in it.
Do you expect that moving it to June, the crowds will increase because weather may not be? Because for a lot of folks, it's just the heat, and let's be real, it's something you have to deal with.
Yes, yeah, we definitely do think being in June, it will help increase attendance. July is kind of known to be hot, and June historically has been a cooler month, so we do expect an increase in attendance.
Which shortened up your scheduling time to get some of these acts. Has that created an issue trying to get some of these acts in the air?
No, it hasn't, because we've known about our June date since December of 2012. So we were actually able to kind of start to plan a little bit in advance and kind of know who we would like to have.
Does this give us a little more separation between the Oshkosh show, which I think is sometime a competition for Dayton?
The Oshkosh show is usually around the third weekend, the fourth week of July, so it does move us away from them, and it's a little bit of a competition with some of the performers.
Well, that's positive then.
Well, connections with some of the acts that's going to be here. We know that one of the participants of the Wings of Blue is from Dayton. Now, is there any others that are from the Dayton area?
Yes, actually with the Navy Blue Angels, and he was here in 2012 when they performed, is going to be Lieutenant Commander John Hiltz. He is the right-wing pilot, so he is Blue Angel number 2. He is once again coming back.
Great. So, bringing the community out. What can they bring in with them? Can they with umbrellas, water, coolers? Tell us,
Coolers are not allowed. They are allowed to bring in umbrellas. They just have to be handheld because we don't want the large umbrellas to block the view of other patrons. They are allowed to bring in water, but it can't be in a cooler. And they're allowed.
Check the website.
I'll tell you, you can check the website, but
That's right.
But even if, with water, they can purchase drinks and beverages and food and all that. That's
that is
going to be out
correct.
here.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, really, why do you want to haul all that stuff in anyway? To save money, I guess, but it's a pretty affordable air show, I would think.
Right. Yes, it is.
And the important thing too is a lot of the stands, the vendors there are like high school bands, and
Yes.
so you're